Okay, it seems like OBS thinks that I'm live. I just have to test and make sure that I am. Can you hear me, anybody? Hello, hello. It looks like you can. Hello, I am Tomebinder. Welcome back to another stream. Today I'm going to be doing, as the title and thumbnail suggests, making a map, and this is part one. I'm going to continue doing a series of streams where I construct a map and put as much effort as I can into it and kind of show people the process that I use, and hopefully you can learn something along the way as well, just about making maps, that is. So before we get started, I'm going to send out the link to all the usual places, which is my go-to tradition. And after that, we'll just get started. Whether or not people join, it's fine. I'm just going to post in the JNI server and Mammoth server. We don't have anybody right now, but I do not mind because this will be in video form. And I'm also going to send it to Ravmar because he does not get notifications for these sorts of things. And now it's been sent out to the usual places. I'm going to make sure I can see the chat, and then we'll just get started, I think. You can see that we're in the beach house at the moment, but we're going to quickly... Oh my goodness, you can hear my voice back at me. Sorry about that. That was probably pretty weird. It was weird for me. Was it weird for you? I bet it was. But anyway, we're now going to start the process of map creation, and to do that, we're going to leave the beach house. I just had to make sure that my voice could be recorded. Welcome to the stream, whoever that is. I'm just about to leave, and as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be starting from scratch and making a new map today, so it'll be completely, I think, standing alone from some of my existing franchises, but it could be Green District. I haven't really decided at the moment. I have a rough concept in my mind, which I'm going to try to illustrate in this episode. So in this stream, I'll just be doing the foundations and basics of this map. The map theme is Green District, Ravmar. Okay, thanks for the advice, Mammoth. I'll take that advice to heart. I'll now show you my concept for the map, and you can tell me what you think about it. But I'm going to first bring this up to a large size, just so I have the most space to work with. And so the idea is that there's going to be a raid on a kind of encampment. I think it'll be a rebel encampment. And you go inside and outside into a series of tunnels and buildings, and it should be pretty cool. It's kind of hard to describe right now, but I'll show you what I'm hoping to go for. Let's bring this up a little bit. And a while ago I saw somebody do a method where you could have, you could make tunnels work in this game, but I was never able to figure it out myself, unfortunately, but maybe that'll be done in part 2 if I figure it out. So for now we're just doing the absolute basics. So this will be sort of the starting area. Maybe there'll be like a helipad or something, but then behind it we'll put some more elevated hills and stuff, and there'll also be trees and things like that. It should be very lush. Oh, Otis finished his chores at the perfect time. That's nice. Very good. We're just getting started, so it's nice to have you in here. So not everything's going to be the same level of, I would say, lushness. There'll be different environments that the player visits throughout the map. Let's see, and I'm trying not to have everything look too uniform here. Don't forget water. Even a few ponds can make a custom, wonderful contrast. Okay. You can see here this will be kind of the background, and then it's going to lead up into a very large hill. But I think there'll also be some hills more in the background too, but we won't focus too much on that at this exact moment. We're going to bring the radius back down a little bit. What's up, Celespia and Damien? Welcome to the stream. I'm just making a map right now, starting out with the terrain. So this here will be the mouth of the facility that we're going to enter into, but I think it'll turn out to be inside a large kind of underground area underneath a hill. So here's what I'm going to outline now is the hill. Let's up the radius a little bit. We have to make it look natural, of course, which can be a bit hard to do, but kind of get a natural looking hill here. And I am going to be lowering the size again so that I can show the passages out of the hill. But this is just the outline that the player is going to see at the start, because we want to give a very clear sense of scale to the player right from the start to kind of hook them and keep them playing, essentially. But this is just a very rough kind of outline. I think there'll be like an opening roughly around here, but this just gives us the maximum possible amount of space. We probably won't use all of this. How do you make this? Damien, I'm not quite sure what you are referring to. What would you like to know how to do? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is kind of map out the path the player is going to take. So we'll go this way a little bit more. And thank you, Celespia. I'll also let you know if there's any bot comments, Celespia. That's a very important job. We can see you can delete them first. But I think there'll be this will open back up out into the outside area. So we'll have another area that's kind of like how it is at the start. What is this map about? This map is about you are a soldier, and I'm not sure what the setting is. It could even be like a Star Wars thing, to be honest, but you're a soldier of some kind, and you are raiding a rebel hideout, and the hideout is partly underground and partly above ground. So I think this will be kind of a start of an area, but then it'll be blocked off for whatever reason, so the player wants to go in this direction, I think. And probably what's going to happen is there won't be this big of an open space, by the way. This is just the back horizon, so we'll put like lower hills right here too. And eventually there'll be invisible walls to prevent the player from running all over the place. Let's reduce the radius and not the speed. Yeah, so we just have something kind of like that. And again, this is just kind of rough to map out the progression of the map rather than very specific details of the terrain at the moment. Okay, now I think I'll just continue on the mapping of things. We'll head off more in this direction. It's not going to go on for a super long time. I think there probably won't be too many more areas beyond what we've seen here, because there will be a fairly large amount of gameplay just in this area. But maybe out here there could be like a launch pad or something. That is something. I bet you're better than Desert Mammoth. Actually, me and Mammoth are working together on a lot of things. I wouldn't compare us or anything. We're not in competition. We're going to head this way. But I do appreciate your being that compliment, of course. I'm going to head this way. And I think we will open this up a little bit. Yeah, just like this. And I think since we're going to be inside in this area, there's no need to really develop the terrain. Actually, you know what, there is, because you're going to be outside here, so you have to see the background when you're outside. Let's bring this up a little bit. Yeah, like that. See, that looks pretty nice already. And it's not all going to be one big hill, so I have to be careful with that. We'll kind of have smaller hills around. So let's lower the radius a little bit and up the speed. Kind of want to have a steeper edge here. You're slightly too quiet. I want to throw up your volume. My volume is as high as it can go at the moment, but I will see what I can do here. Yeah, I actually don't know if there's anything I can do. I'm just going to move my microphone closer to my face. Damien, he was just kidding. Mammoth is not my boss. We are working together on a campaign at the moment. Equally, no one is the boss of each other. I'm going to put another mountain back behind here. Yeah, I think because it's going to add a lot of depth to have this. But I also think I have to be careful not to rely too much on the mountains themselves. We should also have some like sloping ground for trees and stuff would be important. Maybe up here. Oh, hello, Jeff. Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you around. You'd make a map, and it would take you 1,000 hours to do it, Damien. Well, it's always the learning process, you know. If you need help with anything, you can always ask me, and I'm willing to provide that, of course. Let's lower this down. It looks pretty similar to how it was over there. Okay, something like that. Maybe we'll reduce... let's see how this looks from the ground first. It actually doesn't look too bad. Okay. I think we can continue our journey, but we'll head out here. And maybe it'll turn right once here, and then that'll be the final area. So we're getting close to being done with the mapping of things. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then this will be like some transport helicopter area, maybe. This will be where the final encounter is. And maybe this can actually be the back edge of this hill. This could all be one big hill right here, so we have to consider how you want to make this work. And I know it's a little confusing, strange to look at right now, but we're going to merge this together. You see that? This will all be one hill. So hold on a second while I make this a little more understandable for you. What map am I going to make? This map is going to be I don't have too much of an idea now because I'm starting from scratch, but you're going to be a soldier raiding a rebel stronghold, and it's going to be partly underground and partly above ground. It could be in Green District or Star Wars, something like that is what I was thinking. Just something where there's rebels. Could even be Half-Life, I guess, but that's not generally my genre. I'd like to think that I'm going to make a good map, Damien. That's going to be my hope anyway. Okay, I think what we'll do now is we will put the final boundaries on this area, and then we can start getting a little more into the detail here. I mean, you know, on-brand Half-Life stuff is not generally my genre. I like to kind of be as original as possible, I guess. I don't know. I could do it, but I'm not entirely sure. It could also fit as a World War II map. You're right. Yeah, there's a lot of different options for the specifics here. I think in the early stages of this map, we probably aren't even going to need to nail down a specific genre at the moment, because all we have to do is focus on the terrain and stuff. But you are right. This could definitely work as a World War II setting. Okay, I'm just having difficulty visualizing how this hill is going to work if I don't use that mechanic that I found about making tunnels, but we'll see. I'm sure it'll all work out here. Actually, you know what? I can visualize it now. Maybe this is going to merge into another just giant hill. So I was recently playing some maps that had a lot of, I guess, yeah, it's what we call vision blockers. That's the term that I've been told by Mammoth. And so I'm going to try and do that as well here. We're going to really up the radius and maybe slightly lower the speed, actually. We'll just get a big old hill right here that this whole map kind of merges into. I'm sorry. You're right, this is possibly the worst map ever. It doesn't even have any objects. You're right. He was just joking, by the way. You don't have to worry about. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna reduce this a little bit. We're gonna kind of smooth it. Whoa, that's too much. That's too smooth. Actually, it looks kind of nice. We'll see. We'll get rid of it for now, but that's interesting. It can be kind of a cliff type thing. I could see that. Let's reduce this a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna just get the. Let's set height actually. We'll get a 20 here. Oh, that's too slow. Maximize the speed, and we'll bring it up to 30. Okay, still a bit too low. We want to get it kind of high. Yeah, we're getting close though. This is like a zombie. I'm not quite. What are you saying, Damien? Zombie goo? Do you mean the color? Well, it is the forest biome, but I'm not sure if that's what you were referring to. Just gonna smooth these together here. Higher radius, but also higher speed, something like this. I wonder how that's gonna look. Let's see. Let's see from the ground. Okay, it doesn't look too bad, but this looks kind of weird. It's kind of spiky. Okay, we'll set the height again. We'll up the radius though. The map looks like you shot us with a 12. Okay, Mammoth, if you say so. I don't think you should speak for him. We're gonna up the radius again here. Now that's starting to look a little weird, but we will fix how these corners interact with each other, hopefully. Let's just get this. Oh, Rafmar, a friend is coming to help you with Discord soon. That's cool. Can be able to talk with, I guess, more than just Steam messages is how I've been communicating with Ravmar up to this point. Kind of join the main community, I guess. Okay, so now we have, it's obviously not just going to be flat. We don't want to have it look like that. At some point, he said. Understood. So I think what we're going to do is we don't want it to be all looking the same, so we'll add this here. And now we're starting to get a little weirdness there, but don't worry. I'll get to fixing everything, every visual problem that emerges on this map. I'm just doing it one thing at a time. Actually, it doesn't look too terrible from ground level. What do you guys think of this for like a... Yeah, I'm not sure. For a background. From here it looks pretty nice, I think. We have to consider how it looks from the ground. I think we'll do like a sloping upward hill, just very slight curve so it's not flat. You have to be very gentle with this at this point. But I think we'll actually leave these little rough bits at the edge because it adds to it, I think. But in general, up here you want to have it slowly slope upward into a hilltop. Okay, we're making progress now. Maybe we can increase the radius actually and have this go a little bit faster, because this part will probably not be seen by the player, or if it is, it'll just be from the ground level, so the very top isn't going to be quite so important. But how it slopes together will matter, I think. And I think we've pretty much got that down now, since it's not perfectly flat. Yeah, okay. That looks pretty good, I think. Of course, you can let me know in the chat what you think, but I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, now what do we want to do? I think we want to focus on getting the area outside this play area pretty much down pat, because I've said for a long time now that people should focus on improving the backgrounds as well as the main areas. Savanna is better on the eyes and easier to color than green biomes. It'll save you time using Savanna. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is, after this is done, this is something that I learned from, I think it must have been Frostfire. If you completely code a map in Paint, no matter what biome it is, it will prevent painting problems later down the line. It'll prevent harsher borders between paint colors. Okay, anyway, so I think we'll add a little bit more to the background here, but we don't have to put a whole hill, I don't think. We'll just have kind of a little ridge, maybe, for some trees. Some tree action there. We don't need to have super sharp mountains all the time. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. And we can just have this empty. And the reason we can have it empty is because the player's never going to see this part of the map. But if the player at any point will see a part of the map, you should definitely decorate it. Almost as much as you decorate the main area, actually. As long as it's not, detrimental to the performance of the map. It would not look better at night, Celespia. I have to disagree with you. And even if it would, I would just get those haters, you know what I mean? The night map, the rule of night maps. You can't make a night map without getting haters. Yeah, so I think we'll put up some trees there. Maybe kind of widen the ridge a little bit too, actually. It's like an outbreak. Are you saying this? This looks like an outbreak? An outbreak of what? Of what? Okay, we'll have another ridge here, I think. I think that's about all we have to do with this area. We're definitely going to want to add trees and stuff and really put a lot of nature down on here. Okay, since the player's going to come in through here, I think we aren't going to have to do too much in the way of terrain editing, since this area is all going to be underground. But we will all raise this. We'll lower the radius here, but really up the speed. So it's like this cavernous entryway right here that the tunnels cut right through. The map is ready? What do you mean it's ready? Oh, the West North map. Well, I said I was going to do a stream and I can't cut it short, so... And I did say I would be able to play afterwards. And I want to. It's really fun. But I mean, it would just be weird to cut a stream short just for that. Kind of rude too, actually. Okay. Okay, so I think the player's going to come out from here. And I think we should have some things for them to see in the background if they look at it from... If the player comes out of the tunnel from here and looks back, there should be something they see over the top of the tunnel. So we'll add some tall mountains here, I think. Like this. It would be cool if there's buildings in the map. I definitely agree. It won't be just outside. Yeah, we're going to add in buildings once this phase is done. We're just doing it step by step, Damien. But we definitely will add some structures. There certainly is a market for just outdoor battles, but this map will have a mixture of things, interior and exterior. And I think for the last area, I think we will put in mountains here as well. I'm just trying to give each of my maps kind of their own kind of unique identity, I would say, because the boss battle map, Stip the Messenger King, has some very sharp mountains, so I don't want it to look too much like that if I can avoid it. And I'll do that both with the terrain, if possible, and with the terrain's color. The whole color palette, I think, will hopefully be different. Something along these lines, I think, will be a nice backdrop to the final scenario. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think this is pretty good now to start with. And we can add more if we need to as this process continues. We'll do another line of ridges in the background, just for fun. There we go. Okay. And now we have our environment for this map. So once we click that, we're just going to say new map like that. Now we have to think of how exactly we want to structure this. I think we'll start out by painting, like I said I was going to do. The zombie goo is attacking the city. If this could somehow be tied into this idea that the map looks like zombie goo, if I could put a little reference in there, that'd be great. Maybe I will. Oh, why did I do that? Let's up the size. We're just going to coat the whole map in paint, pretty much. This will prevent us from having issues with paint looking bad when we add, like, texture and stuff like that. Because you can't have just a singular color map. You have to add texturing now that it's an option. Otherwise, it just won't look as good compared to competitors, you know? And I think this is pretty good. It's kind of a mix of a green and brown, I would say. It's more of a, I don't know. Is it still a green? It kind of feels like it's a different shade of green, like an olive green, but still a green. What do you think? There will also be texturing done to the backdrops, obviously, so it won't just be this color. But here we have some nice olive green to make up the world of this map. And we won't always be outside, but it's good to have a consistent area outside the play area. Consistently decorated, I should say. Okay, nearly done now. And you know, I thought about doing this in video form. That way we could speed up stuff like this, but I decided on stream. Not really sure why. It is nice to talk to people while doing it. Still looks good, but you recommend using green. What? I have to read Ravmar's full message. Hang on. Adding some stone light and stone dark. Yeah, I will certainly add more colors, like stony colored shades for sure. But I think that's about good for now for our first round of coloring, and we'll continue doing that as the map production progresses. But for now, we're just going to save this. And let's actually edit the time of day a little bit. That would be a pretty good time of day. We're going to save this, and we've also removed grass now, but we will re-add it at some point. Okay, so now we have to actually come up with a path here, a reasonable path that makes sense. Let's now, and again, I'm just doing this completely off the top of my head, so apologies if I have an idea and then I end up not going with it. We'll just have kind of a starting area here where there's a landed helicopter, or like a helipad or something along those lines, and it will lead immediately into this tunnel. So here we have just some brown to represent the dirt path. But maybe we'll add a little bit of green in here too, to show that it's kind of been worn down a little bit. I painted the whole map one color. I don't know if you were in the stream, but I just painted it this olive color. So now you can see they all kind of blend together well, whereas if you did it from a basic, yeah, like a starting biome, these would have these rough edges on them, but they're pretty well fused together. Yeah, yep. That's it's a useful tip. Alright, so we're just gonna, I guess we'll hit save because there's no modular buildings to worry about now. But now we're going to start a little bit on the entry, the entry tunnels that will get us into the main play area here. Some foundations. And it's going to be fairly wide. I think I'll do them 2 by 2. Hang on, is this fully flat? It's okay. It's fine. It's alright. And we will get a 3 by 3 actually, which will take us in a little bit. And this will just be the entryway. We'll get a concrete wall And it won't just be solid concrete, obviously there will be coloring now that we have the ability to color things in Ancient Warfare 3. Get some floors down. And maybe I'll map out the path that the player's going to take in this map first, so just trying to think here. What would I do first? Yeah, I think I would map this out, but let's actually make this look a little nicer, because this is actually a tunnel, so it has to kind of merge into the terrain a little bit. Obviously this is very, very rough, but we'll do what we can. Let's smooth this whole thing out a little bit. Whoa, might be a little too smooth, a little too fast. Okay, sure. Sure. And we'll do a little bit more in a minute, but save that, and we're going to go back in and lower this, because we don't want the terrain to be sticking through the tunnel. We have to have the player walk through the tunnel, so let's get this down to be pretty small. Maximum speed, please. Remove this. I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to chat. I'm explaining my thought process, Celestia. It's perfectly reasonable to do that, to explain to people watching a piece of content what you're doing. It's just like, well, I guess figure it out. You decide what I'm doing. Chet. Yeah, Chet's my imaginary friend. So this is obviously not perfect by any means. So I might end up talking to Flock of Cats, who's the one who showed me this idea of making tunnels merge directly in. But as you can see, this is kind of the basic idea that we have going here. Is it's going to go into the big hill, and the player will be taken into this facility for a little bit, and then obviously come out. Can you explain that a little bit? 2 foundations either side. I think that would probably work, actually. Hold on. Got to reduce this again. But yeah, so we're just going to try and make it seem like it's sticking directly into the hill. Yeah, so the terrain doesn't come to the actual wall. Yep, okay. Alright, we're going to do that right now. Give that a shot. Get some concrete foundation here. And some more walls. We're just adding a second layer of walls here so that we can put some terrain through it. Just like that. Okay. So once again, this is the main entrance to the whole complex, and also once again, I feel the need to remind people I'm totally just spitballing here. I came into this with basically no ideas. Well, you know, that's kind of a weird way to put it. I had an idea to make a map, and I had an idea to put it in the partly inside and partly outside thing, but other than that, you know, so you're going to have to bear with me here. It's a bit different from a pre-recorded video. Let's raise this a little bit. Terrain, bring it in, then use the floors to fill in any gaps between the structure and the terrain. Well, I'm just going to do it like this, yeah. Yeah, I got it. Okay. We'll do it like this, and then that has to be lowered a little bit. Use the set height tool. Oh, yeah, okay. That's much too high. Much too high there. We'll bring it down to 15. This is about what we need, but we'll change it in a minute. Okay, so here we go. We have set height to 1, which is clearing out the interior for us. Actually, we need to set height to 0 for things to make sense here, so we can see the concrete. But then here you can see things are getting a little bit better. Getting a little bit closer to... Yeah, because we still have some... You can still see that it's not really a natural-looking hill. But we will do it like this, I guess. Just trying to figure out a way that will make it look like it's naturally coming into the hill here. Solid circle. Gives you precise brush fold. Use floors to bridge the gap. Oh, I get what you mean. I get what you mean, okay. So we'll just do it this way, yeah, okay. quite a wide entrance, but it's fine with me. So we're just going to do a little bit of like precision raising. Well, first a little bit of precision lowering here. My goodness, this does not look natural at all. Hold on. I'll set the height to 0 there, and we'll just raise this up again. Okay, so now we just have to put the height back to 0, and some of this more specific stuff I guess I can do off screen between episodes, or maybe not, I don't know. It's fine to do it on screen. We're just going to do it that way, and then now, looks like most of the gap is already gone, but we will use floors to make it seem, you know, naturally a part of this landscape like that, like it's a tunnel. There we go, okay. Good stuff. Now we're going to do it on the other side. Solid circle, use size 20. Oh, let's raise it. Except that doesn't look like it works too well. Must have been for the precision part. So what I'm going to do is bring up the brush size a little bit, and yeah, just get ourselves a nice hill entrance here. And this is obviously very rough, but we will smooth it out once we get our entrance fixed to the best of our abilities here. Yeah, again, very rough, but don't worry, it'll be fixed shortly. We will bring this in a little bit. Alright, yeah. If I have a question, though, I will ask you. But I should be able to... I think I have this down. Yeah, okay. Very cool. You know, I actually think it would be a cool effect to show... to have it kind of collapsed in like this, but I won't do it this time. This time it's going to be a contiguous entry tunnel with no problems to it. No avalanches or overgrown segments. Okay, just a little bit like that. Just a little bit. And now we can add some floors to connect it to the sides of the hill. And we should be good to go. We have to add, obviously, some more foundations. Oh, doesn't want to add foundations there. Will it let me add foundations anywhere? Yeah. If I just do it this way, I can ignore the problem of foundations altogether, and we have a sort of... Okay, it looks a little bit weird because it's not... You know, it's obviously these are not symmetrical sides. So here what I'm going to do is raise a little bit here. This is the precision moment. Okay, and we'll bring this back down to 0 in some areas. Okay, almost done. Almost good with this part now. Yeah, I think something like that is just what we're looking for, and especially if we add a little wall right there, we will have the exact same symmetrical look. There we go. Very nice. I think this looks pretty nice. But I think it will look even better if we add a wall here. And then it should be pretty good to go. Yep, that's my thoughts exactly. Okay, so now we have our entrance pretty much down pat. It looks mostly symmetrical. This side could use a little bit of angling. See what we can do here. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, something like this I think would be very good. Except now we need to put another wall right there. Okay, we got to start from the top again. Alright, it's fine. In real life, I don't know why either, Ravmar. Ravmar says he just has this sensation of smelling cobbler. I don't know if I'm... I don't know if he was just saying that for me, or am I allowed to say it out loud, but it's a strange thing to smell randomly. Is anybody making cobbler around you, Ravmar? We need to smooth this out a little bit. Okay, well, that's our entrance down. Now let's get the kind of inner areas started as much as we can. And we're going to do some coloring in a bit, but for now... we'll just do concrete, I think. Smells apple cobbler. Alright. That's very interesting. I don't know, man. It's strange. He goes, "What's with all the cobbler?" I wish I could tell you, Ravmar. We're gonna do something like this, I think. Yeah, Ravmar has Steam only. He does not have a YouTube or Discord, so he can only communicate with direct messages on Steam. Yeah, so I have to read them out loud. It's an interesting arrangement, but it's fine. It's workable for sure. Let's do this. So there'll just be some entrance ways to some rooms. Probably won't be accessible rooms, but who knows. We'll leave the option open. Ravmar hasn't really explained why he can't get either YouTube or Discord. Just that it's not very convenient for him. He said at some point he will have Discord, but his YouTube account is like stuck on YouTube Kids or something. So I don't remember you saying why, Ravmar, but could you remind me anyway? Oh, you told me why you don't have it. Oh, well, I don't remember. So it's fine. You don't have to explain. I mean, that's okay. Shark, I'm not going to read that to him. That's just rude. One sec. Okay, Ravmar. I'm waiting for your explanation when you're ready to give it. Tomebinder chat is where good people turn bad. Okay. It's all the exposure to the bots. That's gotta be why. Let's have another one on the other side, just for some, what's it called? Gosh, I need to think of the words here. Symmetry is the word I was looking for there. Let's get some symmetry in this building. And pretty soon we're going to get rid of this excess terrain that's sticking through. But this moment is not that moment. The corruption from good of the company is a reference to the Steam chat. Sorry, the YouTube chat. Well, you're not making the map, are you, Mammoth? Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is let's get a metal bridge over here. Actually, no. It doesn't have to be a metal bridge in a 2 modular high thing. Build the tunnel first, then do the terrain. Yeah, I'm not going to do any more terrain. Yeah, I know. Just rereading that there. Okay, well, Ravmar has been explaining why you can't get this stuff. He's trying to open Discord. He thought your phone number wasn't real, so you needed friend's help. Got it. That's fine. I'm fine with reading your chats out loud. But just assume that if you message me on Steam, I'm going to consider it part of the stream chat. So this is kind of the main entranceway, and we'll get like if we open this up a little bit here, there'll be a main, and this will be the main kind of sealed door that we have to open up. The main player has to open up. That will take us through the rest of the facility. Okay. You know what? I could just say Ravmar said something, and he wouldn't be able to correct me. Did you know that Ravmar said that Land Shark his road building skills are never improved, and they're actually really bad? Something like this, I think we'll do. We'll put a window up here as well. I don't want things to feel too, claustrophobic, but it should be fine. We'll do something with this to make it feel not so claustrophobic. Now Ravmar's legitimately saying, "Curse you, Land Shark!" Oh, no. Ravmar, Land Shark was not calling your building skills bad. I was joking by saying that you were calling his building skills bad. Maybe I should have said nothing. We'll open this up to kind of a reception area. Oh, not a reception area. This is a military encampment. They don't have those things. But just kind of an open area. Maybe they have, like, I don't know, it's soldiers hanging out, wounded people, maybe? I'm not sure. The feud with Ravmar. What has happened here today? My goodness. Yeah, I know you didn't say they were bad, Ravmar. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I have to come up with something that's not just hallways. There's This will lead up somewhere. Maybe we'll have like, here we go. Here's what we'll do. Like a tower or like an open area for the player to ascend. Okay, that'll be what this is. And this will be sort of an optional area full of I don't even know what. We'll focus on the tower for now. No, Ravmar understands that. I was just joking, and it's all good. There has no drama has unfolded today, thankfully. I always forget shower blocks in your facilities. Don't make the same mistake. Okay. These rebels, they don't need showers. That's just how tough they are. So I think what we're going to do is have this area be a mixture of metal and concrete. I think that'll be the right way to approach this. Even though obviously everything is going to be recolored. It'll still be nice to have a bit of a different texture around. Yeah, the entire DevCorp facility has no hygiene things of any kind. Okay, now I was just consciously brought to the fact that I pressed the delete button instead of the hotkey, which is just on your keyboard. And the answer is, I started using it a while ago before I knew about the hotkey, and I just have always used it. It's just going to be faster for me at this point. It would take me a while to train myself to do it any other way. Yes, I hold control to select multiple pieces at once. Am I not supposed to? I mean, I press control and click. That's the only way I know how. Okay, I thought for sure you were about to go on and say, there's an even better way to do that. You're supposed to... I don't know. I don't know what the better way to select multiple things would be. We'll just have this area for the player to ascend, and possibly they'll be like... I don't know, they'll have like fire checkpoints or something in this area. The player gets up here, takes a little walk this way, except it turns into a more cramped area at this point, perhaps. We'll start like this. Here's what we'll do. Just to show you how cramped it's going to get, we're going to have this kind of open, large area that's reminiscent of the downstairs hallways, and then it will quickly turn into 2x1 hallways, but then it's just going to abruptly stop, and you have to go into 1x1 hallways and get really into close quarters with the rebels, and you'll hear like the rebels shout like, "Get away from me!" or something like that. It'll be very like gritty and up close and personal. That's the plan for there. Wouldn't it be nice if you could select modular color before laying it down? Well, yes, that would be very nice. So we're just gonna get a kind of security door closed here. I'm thinking that the main inspiration for this map is going to be Green District. I made Green District for my map making challenges. Why not continue that trend? So the 2x1 will continue this way. Something like this is how it will progress. And we will add 1x1s branching off from this direction. And eventually it'll have to come back down so the player can leave the facility and head out back into the outside. So we actually shouldn't have this take up a huge amount of the player's time because it's only one section of the map. But I was thinking we should add like defined checkpoints to this map too, because it's going to be fairly long, so we should give the player ample opportunity to rest and recuperate. I guess we could do it just this way to encourage the player to go left and just block this off entirely. We might want to do it that way, actually, yeah. Okay, let's do a concrete floor. Okay, let's have this go up another 3, and then we'll be good to go, I think. Or maybe just 2. We'll see how it looks. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Should not be using concrete for the corners here. We have to keep consistency. So like I've been saying, just for this stream, I'm just getting the basic skeleton of the map set up, and then in subsequent episodes, we'll be adding in enemies, doing more decorating, and creating the gameplay for it. A movie stream at 150 subscribers, where we watch that. No thank you. I must say no to that. Let's just get it like this. I kind of like how it looks with elevated ceilings sometimes. Let's do it this way. Green district, more like green doki dock? What? Ravmar, explain. Explain yourself. I don't know what you just said, Ravmar. I'm gonna pretend you didn't say it. Just gonna add a little bit here. Not too much, though, because this isn't the main focus of the episode, but I just have to make sure I remember that this is going to be the 2x1 area. And then we'll have just a row of offices, I think, something like this. Let's continue off in this. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Continue off in this manner. Some concrete door frames. And I kind of like that. I don't remember exactly how many people are in chat right now, but I am noticing that on weekdays we get a little bit of a quieter and more casual stream, which I do kind of appreciate, to be honest. But I do appreciate people who are watching it live, and people who are watching it in video form, of course. I don't think every one of these is going to be accessible by the main character, but we will present them as options. Maybe this door is going to be the main one that the player has to take. We'll have just a little kind of something like this. This will be maybe a checkpoint, but then the player starts going off in this little maze-like place. Yeah, it doesn't have to be too fancy. That's probably about all we need. And then it'll head this way. And then you'll just go down a few levels worth of ladders. And at that point, you can take some stairs down and get out. But there will be, obviously, rebels contesting your path the entire way. Whoa. See, I have the 1x1 here, and I think the 1x1 is going to be the most difficult to make interesting, because, you know, tight corridors are in almost every map that has an interior, so I have to come up with some sort of gimmick, or just interesting mechanic that we can include to make it a little bit less generic. It's just something I think I try to strive for, and I think everyone should as well. It will not end up being a concrete sausage in the final version, Ravmar. Do not worry. This is just to get the foundation and kind of the general path of the map set up. Yeah, have no fear. There will be no concrete sausages here. I think that's about all we have to do for this close-range things. These close-ranged things, my goodness. That was a little embarrassing there. Let's just keep going and pretend nothing just happened. Okay, we'll just have to go down like this. Quite simply. And we also have to be careful, too, because when we're going down ladders, there should be some danger to the player, but we also don't want it to be cheap. You know, the player has to look this way. Well, I guess they don't. They could look this way. We just have to make sure it's not from an angle that the player won't see because they're going down a ladder. Let's take it like this. Actually, that might be all we need. We don't actually need a third level. We could just go like this, yeah. Okay, very cool. Let's get like a weapons or munitions depot around here. Let's have a big old room, and then another big old, like a tunnel heading this way. But the player does not have to go this way. It's just to add depth to the map. And then just a little extra thing here. It opens up into the large stairway that the player will take down and out of the first facility. Let's, I always kind of put a little shell of concrete modulars around metal modulars. I think I've said this before, but it just prevents the sunlight from leaking through the players inside. Okay, what I'm going to do now is... yeah, let's bring this up here. And now, thankfully, because there is no glitch anymore, or I guess it could have just been a feature, but before, when you deleted a foundation and it was attached to a big building, the big building would fall apart. But that is thankfully no longer the case. So we're just going to do it this way. And... whoa. This will just be, I guess, a sort of small concrete stairs. Hold on here. We're going to do one level of stairs, and then kind of a break, a pause area, and then another level of stairs, and then we'll be out of the facility. We'll have another nice exterior area, which I think will be kind of cool. That's the main thing that was in my mind when I was first conceptualizing this map. I want to have interior and exterior. I just don't know how much that's been done. I was just thinking, I want to play a map like that, but I couldn't think of a map that's really like that, so... They were not 24. This is not what I want to be talking about right now for a variety of reasons, but they were not 24, there was only 10. Okay, I think we're just going to close off this 1x1 area, and then we should be pretty much free to continue designing the general path of the map. And again, there won't be any specific detailing done in this episode, because I think we've already gone pretty far on the stream, 52 minutes to be exact, and we are still pretty much only designing the path that's going to be taken. That would be interesting, Mammoth. That would be interesting. Natural Avert. I was playing West Nile for hours after we finished it today. I just said I was going to stream. Actually, I said yesterday that I was going to stream today at this time. So, but anyway, enough about that. About the map. We're just about done closing off this final area. And then we have to start making the tunnel that leads out of here. Something like that. There we go. This will be a fairly large map, one of the largest maps in terms of scale I think that I've ever made. We have to be very careful. Let's see the performance here. About 1,000 objects. That's fine. We're in no danger of causing any lag yet. Something like this would be good for a size. I want to make it the same as how it was over here, which, yep, there we go, that's the same. Great. And again, like last time, we will raise it up for the security door, and then bring it back down for the exterior tunnel. There we go. We'll get a window frame in here. And a reinforced window. And now we're just going to start closing things off, I guess. The main excitement of this stream is just getting the general path the player is going to take. And like I said, this is going to be the checkpoint that they go right before they head out into the exterior area. So I'm not sure like what the lore would be for this, how the player is enabled to take out this massive encampment by themselves. Maybe they're that same operative or whoever who is very good at fighting, or like a super soldier or something designed by the Grand Legislature, also known as the Leg. Let's see how this looks. It looks okay. I kind of want it to be a little bit bigger though. I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll leave it like this for now, but I might have to change it. All right, we're going to put a yeah. Let's do it like this. There's going to be an oversight room here that's just looking down. It makes sense. I'm pretty sure it makes sense to have a room here. We'll do a door frame here. Okay, yeah, so now we're able to go out here and start working on the second exterior path. But first we have to make sure, let's check back in here to see how things look. We don't want the player to see any modular stuff at the outset of the map, so that's going to be a bit of a problem unless we can figure out Flock's method of underground modular constructions. Well, there is, so let me just say, Shark, there is a way that I was told that you can make things go inside hills and inside the ground too, but I just don't remember exactly how it works, so I'm actually going to have to consult with the person who told me about it. Raise the tunnel height? Not quite sure what you mean. We're not going to focus too much on the visual inconsistencies for now. I think we're just going to get the path laid out and change it if we need to. You raise the terrain above it. Is that really all you have to do, Otis? You raise the whole map's terrain? Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it. You just do it like this. Is this really? It feels like it's not this easy. Okay. We'll see. Because yeah, it's just green there. It's just land. Are you really sure? You have to do it over the whole thing? Like what how is it supposed to do? How what? I'm going back. Hold on. It will ruin the map, it says Rammer. Yeah, I don't know about this. You know what? We're gonna see. Flip a coin. Flip a coin on whether this works. I have it saved now, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't work, but we'll see. You can't walk into it? Oh, you have to start inside of it? Oh. Is that what that means? I think I get it. So you raise it, like that's the last step, you raise it at the very end? Okay, you know, that would make a lot of sense. Let's go back here. We're going to test that out briefly. Hold on. Let's set the game mode to none, first of all. The modulars stay there, okay. If that's the case, it might not be needed. We might have to come up with some other way to obscure the player's vision. But I'm just going to test this out and see if it works, because this is very intriguing. So right now, for those of you who are a little bit confused, we're just testing to see if there's a way to have these modulars be completely underground, because there's the principle that underneath the ground, no matter how the ground is set up, like this is obviously a big old cliff, but underneath the cliffs, there's just nothing. So if we don't update the modular buildings, and we now hit play, theoretically we'll spawn inside that area, and we can continue the map as normal. It'll be like it's underground. And I also thought there might be a way, yeah, so it works as normal. See, that's very cool, actually. Except, you know, there tend to be glitches. But what we can do is, that should be fun. That shouldn't be a problem, because we can just teleport the player inside, and, yeah. So the very last thing we'll do is raise up the hill above this building and just add a script to teleport the player inside. So this all seems to work as we need it. So that's very helpful, actually. We'll just have a, I don't know, have like a cave-in part or something, and you press a button to quote-unquote clear it, and it teleports you back in here on the other side. Yeah, that would work. Okay, well that's great. We now have figured out the way to make this underground part work. There's a big underground facility. It'll show you how to obscure your base. I did play it when you posted all the links, but I don't remember what you did to obscure the base. I'm not going to play it on this stream. We're not playing any maps on this stream, but I will do it off screen. Well, I'm just going to figure out the best way to incorporate it while making it look like it's underground. Okay, what I'm going to do is lower this as much as I can. Alright, hold on. And now we're just going to get another foundation going, which will take us to the very end of the map. And once we're done with this, we will put another path around here and work. Actually, you know what? Why don't we just do the exterior part first? The exteriors are kind of fun. Let's do that. We're going to paint the ground sort of like this. Up the size, up the speed. Just a very similar principle to what we did at the very beginning of the map. Just multicolored. Let's add some texturing here. And get a little bit darker. And much darker. I'm not sure how well that looks, actually. Actually, it's probably fine. You know what? I changed my mind again. What colors were we using over here? We were using a regular brown, kind of a reddish brown, and kind of a darker brown, and then the basic color, so nothing like that. Was basically black there. It's not the same. Okay, let's just kind of get this all over here. This is a very well-worn, maybe like the last stronghold of the Green District Rebels or something like that, canonically. So I think we'll consider this. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm sort of much darker there. And then now we will get the kind of olive green that we've been using so far. If I can find it. Oh, that's a bit too bright, actually. Hold on. Still a bit too bright. What I should have done is get the RGB value, but I don't think it'll be too big of a deal because I can, yeah. I'll use this as a fine substitute and then put a little bit more on top. When I get that color again, I will write it down and that'll be what we'll use. But yeah, it's going to be a good idea to record your RGBs. I just blundered there. Okay, see you in a second, Ravmar, but yeah, this seems to work fine. Okay, so 8911076 is going to be the RGB. Let me write that down on a notepad document. So that'll be our background color in case we need it again. Okay, so I don't think we need to do any more terrain stuff. I was going to say let's connect this like we did the opening part. You see how this obviously looks much different as an entrance than this, but I don't think we need to edit this one yet. Let's get the basic path of the map down first. Let's not update the modular buildings just yet. Alright, and that's really about all we need because this is going to be the one that's blocked off. The player won't be able to access this bunker, facility, whatever you want to refer to it as. It's going to be the part of this large military complex used by the Green District Rebels. So I think sort of what we can consider this as is after the events of Facility Siege, or I suppose right before those events, the rebels were sort of forced into a much more entrenched mindset. They had to use tactics of, attritional warfare, but they also had to fall back to only their best fortresses, and they couldn't really fight pitched battles anymore, so they're more or less hiding in these stronghold areas. Alright, Celestia's gonna go, that's fine. The stream probably won't last much more than another half hour to 45 minutes. It'll all depend on how long it takes to continue on this path of building the basics. But thanks for tuning in for as long as you did, Celestia. I'm just going to add the structures, the basic structures, that is, for the last kind of sections of the map. And then see what else would make sense. And then we probably will end up concluding at some point. These streams don't have to be as long as the average workshop stream, just because it makes no sense to enforce a convention when you're building a map and things can change on a dime. Obviously this doesn't look too good. this straight shot through here, so I'm going to have to think of how to do it in a cool way. I might do it in a way how there was that Manufactorum map where you like went up on the sides. That might actually make this a little bit more interesting than just approaching it on foot. You come up along the sides on these metal bridges. That might be pretty interesting. And then in here, I don't know, it'll be like the hangar or something. Yeah, this will be a hangar. And then it leads out. Hold on, let me get the... Before we move on to that exterior, let's actually get this more or less built in, the exteriors. Thought I was going to sneeze there, but I ended up not sneezing. That's good. Let's see what we're looking at in terms of objects. Still not too many. We are still very far away from having any real performance impact when we play this map, so that's good. Okay. And obviously we're going to want to raise this due to the fact that if we have it all the same level, it just won't be visually appealing. We'll have it like this for a while, but then raise it up for the hangar because this is a, it's an aircraft place. You've got to give it a little bit of clearance. Something like this would probably work. And out here we'll do like an airstrip or something. I think that might be cool. And it could be like you're pursuing a general or something who's trying to flee on an airplane or something. We'll think about how we want to approach the story of this map. And I think we'll use roofs here rather than floors to approach the final sections of this map. And I think we're going to use these roofs too because I like how I like how this kind of wooden structure around it looks, so we'll keep it like that. Okay, that's not good. This will work. Well, I think this will work better. We're just going to get ourselves some nice cinder block roofs for this hangar. And of course, anything can be redone, but I'm feeling pretty good about the current concept for this map. And I know this is a different sort of stream, but I hope at least some of the things I've said are teaching people new things. And we will be resuming playing maps starting Wednesday, which is the 26th, as long as obviously my real life permits. But assuming it does, 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Hold on here. Which modular do I need? It's kind of hard to tell. It's actually maybe... Wait a minute. Hold on, huh? I need to be able to finish this section of the roof here. Cinder angled roof. That's what we want. And then this way. Okay, there we go. Except that's the 45 degree. We want it this way, I think. Yeah, okay. Almost was a little worried there, but we have the necessary parts to continue here. And we'll just open it up, something like this. Okay. And, yeah, because now what we can do is use wood pillars, not metal pillars, but wood pillars, to have kind of an extra layer of, like, yeah, like this. We'll do this for every single one, I think, on the edges, because we'll elevate a higher roof as well, but the edges will have this kind of nice pillar thing going on, add some interesting visuals for the player to chew on in this final section. Did you see your messages? I'm not sure that I did, Ravmar. I will check them in a moment. Or you can just say them again, now that I can focus on them. I don't have to do all these pillars now. Let's do the cinder roofs first of all. No, we don't actually have to do it this way. Cinder angled roof is what we want to do first off, because we're just going to have 2 layers of roofs like this. Yeah, very nice. I think that looks pretty nice. Yeah, I saw the thing where you said be right back, Ravmar. That I did see. Alright. And also somewhat related to this idea of a stream, I have been recording some, I guess like logs, of the process I've been going through on that RPG map. And because that's the furthest away thing, I've been focusing more on that, but it's actually not what I've been working the most heavily on. That would definitely be good to the company paradigm shift. And actually, these days I'm also focusing more on that collab with Mammoth I was mentioning earlier. Okay, now here's where we get a problem. Here is where we get a real problem, but I think maybe. Yeah, okay, I think this will fix it. This will fix it right up. You know, the modular roofs are so interesting in this game. But it seems like they all connect together perfectly for this situation, so I'm grateful for that. I sort of thought they might not, but they do. So yeah, we have here our nice little hangar, which we will develop in much more detail in the next episode, but this is just getting the basic path of the main character for the map, and we will definitely flesh out the map and the world significantly in part 2, which I'm not sure what it'll focus on. It could be on decorating or unit placement or something like that. That's my guess. Hold on, is this room even going to be big enough for this pillar thing? I guess we'll focus on something else for now and consider the pillars next time. But yeah, as you can see, we're definitely getting a lot done. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is having this area be consistently interesting. This very long, straight shot. But we'll have a security door here that the player needs to breach before they can continue. And after that, we'll have those, like I was saying, bridges on the sides of the walls. I am getting a ton of messages. I'm not really checking messages during streams, just so you know. So if you're trying to get a hold of me to talk in some other way, unless you're using Steam messages, then I'll see them automatically. That's how Ravmar is able to communicate. So out here, let's kind of work on painting the airstrip. Just kind of a nice little paved asphalt thing, like this. Does not have to be very complex right now. We can add a lot of extra detail in future episodes, but we're just getting a general sense of how this is going to all look. And I think this looks pretty good. Well, I don't know if it would be worthy as a final product, but it's good for showing the general idea. I think we're going to add more texture, obviously, and make it look a little bit sharper in future episodes. You can see here, this is clearly meant for planes to take off at. At least that's my hope, anyway. Another thing I was thinking of doing in the next episode is tightening up these exterior areas. They're very wide open, and we don't have to have that much space. So, yeah, at this point, I think what we'll do is have like a airplane or something that's out on the... Hold on. Oh gosh, I have to actually know the names of the planes. Oh, you know, I just type landed. That's all I have to do. Landed! What do we want? I think we want a big plane that's landed. We will have it out here, and it's just getting prepared for launch. But we have to do something. Maybe sabotage it or something. We'll just have it right here. No. Well, yeah. I think for a placeholder, it can go towards the end. I've just been having some troubles getting ready to launch, and the general's trying to leave. But you have to blow it up and capture the general. Something like that. But now we sort of have a rough path for the player to take. And we have a pretty nice looking background environment too. Only exception being this weird spikiness at the beginning. But this will definitely take up a solid 10-15 minutes of gameplay. So we have to make sure to add some built-in checkpoints and rest areas for the player so that they don't get frustrated or bored after staying in one map for so long. So that will be one of the challenges of the next stream. But I think we can do it. Well, I just thought it would be kind of interesting to go through a series where I try to take it slow and work on projects, specifically maps, and just show people kind of what I work on, how I work on it, and hopefully impart a little bit of advice. But I think we're about done for this stream, to be honest. I think we've gone through the process of setting up a player's path, and obviously it's very undecorated. Right now it's just rough concrete all around, with the exception of a little bit of metal. Next time I'm going to be focusing a lot more on the visual side of things, so coloring, making sure that there's, the path actually works, slight scripting. But my focus next time will be to actually create a point A and a point B and allow the player to get to it, because obviously right now we just have these pre-placed security walls which the player can't get through. Speaking of that, let's just add these here. So yeah, next time I think we'll focus a lot more on the visual side of map creation. And welcome to the stream, Angie. We're actually just kind of starting to wind it down. But as you can see, I've started working on a green district map, and next time I'm going to be focusing a lot more on detailing and decoration. Not just on the interiors, but also on the exteriors. So we're going to be working on trees, plants, flora and fauna, that kind of thing, as well as the coloring and decoration. So I'm going to save this map now, and unless NG you want me to do or say anything related to this map, I might return to the beach house. And I know it's kind of, I guess, poor timing. I guess I could do a little bit more. What would you like? What would you like me to work on? I have 8 messages from one person. Oh, it's Flock of Cats telling me how to do it. Got it. Well, I missed that, but I still eventually learned how to do the underground technique. Yeah, so Flock of Cats was the person who told me how to do the underground structure technique, and I didn't know how to do it, but he told me in messages. Flock, if you're seeing the stream right now, you should definitely tell me in stream chat or in like a message on Steam. But yeah, just say it on the YouTube chat or a Steam direct message, and I'll see it. I do not check servers or anything like that while streaming. Oh, NG has been here, he just hasn't talked yet. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I probably will start to wind down then, but as you can see, we've got a pretty strong start for this map. Next time, obviously, we're going to add a lot more identity to it. It's sort of an empty placeholder right now. It doesn't have much of its own identity yet. It could be done, it could have any setting. Anything could happen in this map. It's kind of a template. Well, I'm going to return to the beach house, as I've been saying. It's been kind of a quiet day today. I'll probably get another video up before the day's over. I'm not sure what that's going to be. It will probably end up being 13 days later, because I have a little bit of footage for that, so I can just finish it up and get the next episode. And like I said earlier, the next stream where I play things will be on Wednesday. So tomorrow there'll be probably a full-on break from streams. Well, let's just get in here and I will do the official outro. Yep, back in the beach house. Nice day at the beach house as well. Alright. Well, I just want to say thank you, everybody. I know this is sort of different kind of stream, but I just thought I would kind of go through the journey of creating a map with all of you. So, the next part will be coming up fairly soon. If I had to guess, it'll be in a couple of days. Wednesday will be playing maps, so I guess the earliest it could be is Thursday. Unless there's extreme demand. I suppose I could play it tomorrow, as long as, school and stuff permits, but expect part 2 of this series in the next few days, along with my other series, of course, which are Valley and 13 Days Later. Just trying to diversify my content just a little bit, while still keeping it on Ancient Warfare 3, of course. But yeah, if you want to support my content, just leave a like or subscribe. You can also follow my Steam Workshop, which is always linked in the descriptions of my videos and streams. Well, without further ado, I'll just say thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or stream.